If you are dating and you're looking for a serious relationship and you want to be sure the guy understands what you're looking for, then follow these 3 steps. Step number 1. When you meet a guy, don't sleep with him immediately. It will give off the wrong impression and he may think that you're just an easy girl to have fun with. Step number 2. When you're on a date together, let him know what you are looking for. Be honest and straightforward. If it scares him, then he's not your man. Step number 3. Give as much as he gives you. Don't go all overboard after date number 3 with planning your wedding. Instead, look out for how much he sacrifices for you.
Where are the girls that are just super laid back and chill?
Where the hell are the good women at?
So apparently the internet is full of men asking where all the nice girls have gone. So let me answer. Dear sirs, we didn't disappear. We just stopped pretending to be okay with things that we've never been okay with. Let me give you a history lesson. For generations, women have been raised to be nice and polite and accommodating and just let men do whatever they want. Just let them act however they want, to overfunction in relationships, to never embarrass men, to never make anything awkward. Yeah, we call these pick-me girls, and guess what? They're going extinct, and honestly, good for us. Because there are amazing men out there that actually want real women. They want partnership, they want love, they want respect, and they're not looking for doormats. So a happy Women's Day to all the women who stopped shrinking themselves to make mediocre men feel comfortable.
Gentlemen, if you're in your 40s and you're single, your dating value market is at an all-time high. And I'm not saying this just to hype you up, but I have spoken to a lot of my clients who are 40 plus and they don't see their own value. Here are some problems that I see. Number 1, you focused on your increasing age when the woman hasn't. If you're young at heart, you can be 70 and still find a catch. In therapy, I call this a limiting self-belief or age excuses, to be blunt. Secondly, you're over 40, but you're just done with all the BS. You have just been through so much that now you have this overreactive BS radar. And lastly, if you're 40, single, unmarried, or divorced, women will wonder if you are traumatized. Make sure you call it out and set your intentions clearly and confidently.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video. You know, modern women continue to talk about why don't men chase? Where are the men who court? Where are the men who pursue? I'll be standing right behind you. I'll be standing right alongside you. I'll be standing right in front of you. But you too busy looking at Chad to ever see where I am.
Women feel more comfortable with insecure men because, let's just be honest, you know, insecure men are just going to build up a woman more. Like they're just going to lift a woman up just a little bit more than a confident man. So when a woman meets a confident, driven, calm man, she doesn't know how to approach him. She doesn't, because she's used to insecure men that don't know how to talk to her, men that are, you know, trying to prove they're masculine. A true masculine man is tied to his presence, not anything else. Not money, not a car, not an outfit, not anything or anybody else but his presence. That is the most masculine trait you can have as a man, is walking into a room and immediately having a presence.
In 2023, I was dating a guy who forgot my birthday, and at 5 p.m. he sent me $50. I sent him that $50 back and I blocked him. Then in 2024, I was dating another guy who asked me what I wanted for my birthday. I told him what I wanted for my birthday. He proceeded to ask me my clothing size, my shoe size. But when my birthday came, nothing arrived. I never did see a birthday gift, not a shoe, not a shirt, not a card, not a balloon, nothing. I cut him off. Then come 2025, I'm dating a man about 4 months. I mentioned that I want to go to Aspen, Colorado, and a week later, that trip is booked, itinerary booked. Not only that, when we come back, I'm met with red roses, a charcuterie board, and a bottle of champagne. Why are you telling me this, Kyla Shay? I'm telling you this so that you don't A, settle for the man that forgets you, B, you don't settle for the man that overpromises and doesn't deliver or underdelivers, C, be willing to wait for the best and be willing to walk away from the worst, D, don't go into no situation bitter, because being bitter will block your blessings. Don't allow your heart to be hardened by the disappointment of people who have not shown up for you. There is a man out there who can do it for you, that will do it for you, and that actually wants to do it for you. And you will not have to beg. You will not have to hold your breath. You will not have to plead. You probably won't even have to ask, because he will hear your desire and he will respond accordingly because he actually likes you.
I think in this day and age, the whole dynamic of approaching has changed. You know, it used to be you can just walk up to somebody, and even if they rejected you, that was the end of it, right? But nowadays, modern women want to pull out their phone, they want to record you, they want to put you on TikTok, they want to act a fool. And for a lot of men, I just don't think that's the way they want to live their lives.
But how many men would date an unattractive woman?
Exactly.
They wouldn't. They just simply wouldn't, okay? Because they have that standard. If you're unattractive, I don't want to date you. But once a woman has a standard, and it's like, if you're a broke guy, and with broke guys, I don't mean men that are poor.
No.
I mean men that don't know how to create abundance. And that's a big, big issue. See, for example, for me, a broke man, how I classify it is like my dad. My dad refused to work. He doesn't want to work. He doesn't want to figure out how to work. He made my mom work her whole life, and she was taking care of him, okay? He didn't respect himself, and he didn't respect my mother. It was just not in balance at all, and my mom had to be hyper masculine to make up for the lack of masculine energy in the house, right? Now, when you have that, a person that doesn't know how to be abundant, that's a broke guy, okay? It doesn't matter how much money he makes, as long as he's trying, that's an abundant man.
Exactly.
Because
You see men finally starting to walk away in mass and disappear from approaching, from courting, from pursuing. It's probably because your risk, your cost benefit has shifted too far away from it being worth it. A lot of men like to say the juice isn't worth the squeeze.
The closer you get to 30, the more you realize you don't know shit in your 20s. And by the time you get 35, that's when reality will hit you, and you have to take stock at where you are. And if you're losing or behind, that's your problem. At 40 is when life really starts for a man. And if you've been doing the right things, the better things, putting in the work, life becomes far much more pleasurable at 40. But then, just like you see a lot of women who have the 1,000 C's stare in their eyes, you see a lot of guys at 40 who have the loser stare in their eyes because they got light resumes, few skills, and they've misused their youth, chasing stupid. And now they don't have as much time, and they can't make the money, and they got to hold on to that job. They got to hold on to the job they have, because if they lose that job, they know if they're going to the open market is going to sell them. See, that's the real truth. Value is determined by a market. The market determines what value is. Where are you on the market?
Are you single?
No.
How long you had a man?
5 years.
And how long have you had a baby?
He's almost 2.
Was it with him or with somebody else?
Him.
So how much does he have to make to take care of you and your daughter?
At least $1,000 a month.
$1,000 a month?
W woman. I mean, she shouldn't be wearing stuff like that if she's got a husband. But there still is good women out there. She's not asked about how much that fella makes, as long as they're getting by. All is not lost. If you want to try and find a woman of God, download the Avon app. You can ask it questions such as, how can I find a woman of God? And it'll give you qualities that a woman should have to know she's all for the Lord. Some women out here do want a family. They do want the right man. They don't want to sleep around. They want to be the best version of themselves. And God bless them women that want that. Because there's too many women out here wanting to party and get the body count higher. And they're not asked about being a wife, only when it's too late. Stay woke in the streets, like big brr.
A lot of these modern women keep on saying that men are desperate because men are willing to text you and willing to call you in their free time. Oh, you can't be too desperate. I just don't like a man like that. Okay, well, let me make myself scarce. Oh, you just disappeared. You just disappeared. Yeah, I did, because you said that I was too available. You know, I like to talk to the people that I actually have an interest in. I don't know about you.
Somebody tell me why I have a beautiful house, warm, cozy, and yet this is where my husband is.
Because it's your house, right? Not you and your husband's house. That's why he's out there, because the garage is most likely the only place where he has a say-so in anything. I bet you anything it's the only place that he's been able to decorate himself. It's been the only place where he's been able to decide on furniture. It's probably the only place where he can watch the sports that he wants to watch on his TV. It's probably the only place in his house where he can actually just sit down and relax without being told what he needs to do next. I bet you anything he could even fall asleep. He could close his eyes and take like a 15-minute nap without getting yelled at. It's probably the only place where he can actually feel at peace, even though he's in this foldable chair that's probably not that comfortable, but he has the dog on his lap, so that helps keep him warm. That's why, ladies, like, that's why he's looking for solitude. He's looking for his own place where he can find peace, even if it's just briefly, because remember, the rest of the place is your house, not his.
Do you prefer chivalry or do you prefer equality?
Equality.
What about you?
I'm gonna agree.
What about yourself?
Equality.
Okay, so you said you in a relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who paid for the first date?
Who paid for it? Him.
Yeah. Who paid for the second date?
It's been a while.
But what you think?
Probably him.
Interesting. Who paid for the third date if you got to think?
Probably him.
Okay, that's not equality.
You've used my logic against me.
How long would you take care of your man if he couldn't work anymore? And be honest.
Like 6 months.
6 months?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's not equality. What about you, Gigi?
I've done that before, so,
But you
so I would
broke up
say
with the
like,
dude.
well, yeah. So I would say maybe like 3 months, honestly.
3 months. And what about you?
I say a year.
The ladies that said that you prefer equality over chivalry, your answers contradicted yourselves. And the fact that I have a timeline on it, that means that it's not equal, because men, it's in our nature to provide for a woman forever. So even though you say one thing, which is like a politically correct answer, because the media right now is ruled by the crazy Dems and they socially constructed your mind to believe nonsense, but true deep down in your deepest part of your soul, you don't want equality.
A lot of these modern women talk themselves out of a good relationship. They talk themselves out of a good man. And then they get online crying about, oh, I missed a good man. I left a good man. I regret losing a good man. It don't matter. You've disrespected him this entire time. And that man, because he's a good man, has moved on. And now you stuck out there looking for your forever person when you had him already.
We cannot find our matches. Ladies, what is going on?
I think people are very, very particular as to what they're looking for. It's like they're ordering, like, you know, like a meal on meals. I think they have to be very, very realistic that, you know what, have your certain criteria and don't make them too many. Like, I have people put them there, like height, you know, like what kind of profession, how educated, like this, too many, you know, just have one or two that is very important.
Yeah.
And then the rest, you know, go in and just check them out.
See what happens.
Exactly. And also I find people make the decision based on the biodata or CV or whatever you want to call it and the picture.
Right.
This is not right, because in my family, you know, I always encourage the youngsters, you know, go and see. You know, and this is the prophetic advice, is
Yes.
go and see, because when you see someone, you will really understand whether the chemistry is there, whether they are the one who is going to be compatible to you, and you get much, much more through face to face.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think that's something that I see again and again, where people have too many criteria. It's like, you know, having a, like, you know, item that they order online. You have
I think many people wish we could just order husbands online and
You
just say
can't.
you want this, tick all these
Put it
boxes
in
and
the
put
boxes.
in the order, and there you go. But
Any more info?
what does the
design
dean?
them?
What?
You know, a lot of these modern women talk a lot of trash. A lot of trash. Well, I don't need no man. I don't want no man. But you know, if it just happens, it happened, yada, yada, yada. But then you get out there and you experience the real world. And you experience, oh shoot, all of that bravado I had, and all of that sticking my chest out, and all of that, oh, I don't need him, he this and that. All that's gonna go by the wayside. Once you figure out, man, maybe I didn't talk too much and I can't do it alone.
I almost don't want to answer this question. Is matcha good for you or is it just a trend? Oh boy. Okay, matcha. Like anything else, it comes down to the quality. Unfortunately, there are matcha brands that are so cheaply made that it can harm you more than help you. When you're going to a coffee shop or a cafe to grab a matcha, most likely they're not using the highest quality matcha powder. So if you're going to that place every day, multiple times a day, I would definitely look into what matcha they're using. This is what you're looking for with matcha. Ceremonial grade, organic, preferably made in Japan. The matcha powder is bright green, bright, like vibrantly green. If the powder looks brown, a very dull shade of green, yellowish, that is not a good sign and you should probably avoid it. A real high quality matcha will dissolve extremely easily in water and will have a lot of great benefits for the body, and it will taste very creamy, almost have a sweetness to it, and it won't usually leave you feeling jittery. But when you go and add cold foam and sweeteners and syrups, that's a bit of a different conversation.
There are good men. My advice to you is an advice that I've received when I was 36. That was last year from one of my best friends, Mona Katan.
Yeah.
She was sitting down and I told her, Mona, now that you're married, what is the secret? Because we both went through toxic relationships in the past, me and her. And she gave me a piece of advice. And I remember that day we were sitting at an event. It was her event. I was quiet for the whole night because my mind was processing what she told me. She told me, don't look for a firecracker, look for a fireplace. And she just left. She just passed me. She's like, hey, baby, don't look for a firecracker, look for a fireplace. And she just left. But she left me with a message that like screwed my mind completely. And it's so true. We always look for these men that, you know, give us butterflies. And I go crazy when I see him, explosive and all that. But that's exactly what you should be avoiding. Look for the fireplace. Look for the man that makes you feel like you're home. You're warm. You're calm. There might not be firecrackers or butterflies, but he is home to you. And I think that switched my mindset completely. So right now, every time I feel like I'm attracted to a person, and that's an advice my therapist told me. She's like, every time you feel butterflies, run. She's like, that means that's the most toxic type that you're looking at. And that's your body, your gut feeling telling you run.
The cold approach died when approaching became a crime. It's really what happened, right? So when you started recording men, started insulting men, shaming men, doing all this other dumb stuff, that's when men said, oh, shoot, this not for me. Oh, this not the life for me. Oh, she's not that cute. Then, oh, man, you know, I got dressed up. I look cute and no men approached me. Have you ever audited the way you act when men come and approach you? Have you ever thought about that?
A lot of men stay in relationships far longer than they should. Not because they're weak, not because they don't see the problems, but because they are attached. They stay for the memories, the chemistry, or the version of her that they hope that she is going to become. And that hope is a drug. You can love a woman and still be drained by her. You can love her and still feel disrespected. You can love her and still slowly lose your edge, your peace, and yourself. Love does not cancel reality. And here's the part most people avoid saying out loud. She doesn't have to be evil to be wrong for your life. Wrong still costs you years. Wrong still costs you your nervous system. And wrong still costs you your purpose and your mission in life. And I get it. Leaving hurts. It feels like withdrawal. It feels like sometimes because attachment rewires your brain. But there's a deeper pain than leaving, and that's staying. Staying and shrinking yourself, staying and calling chaos passion, staying and convincing yourself that intensity equals love, but it doesn't. A man does not leave when he stops loving. He leaves when he realizes that love isn't enough to justify the disrespect anymore. The woman you deserve won't feel like a roller coaster. She will feel like peace, consistency, and support. Simple. And at first, that peace might feel unfamiliar because chaos became your normal. So yeah, you choose your pain. Short-term pain that leads to growth or long-term pain that slowly erases who you are. That choice tells you everything about where you're headed, so pay attention.
Part of the reason the dating pool is so messed up and it's so imbalanced
is because older men need to start back dating women their own age. We don't want y'all. The only thing an older man can do for me is pay my tab. Right then and there on the spot, I can give him my number and then he's gonna get blocked. We don't want y'all. And we need to, and younger women need to stop boosting y'all heads up. Y'all hairline is receding. Y'all are out of shape. Half the time y'all have alcohol problems and gambling problems, so it ain't nothing going on down there or up here. And y'all are repulsive. I'm not gonna lie. When y'all are paying for my tab, all I can think about in the back of my head is that you are older than my dad and you're trying to talk to me. You really think that you got a chance with me, and it's disgusting. Like, it's literally repulsive, because in the back of my mind, like, if you could date a 13-year-old, if it was legal for you to date a 13-year-old or 14-year-old, you probably would. And the only reason why you're stopping here in my face is because it's legal. And y'all got these younger guys thinking that just because they got a little money, that they get to play in women's faces all the way up until they in their 40s and 50s, and then think they're gonna come and settle down with a young tenderoni like me. No, that's not how that works. You're gonna get played. You're gonna be used strictly and solely for your money, and then you're gonna be looking sad and crazy. And you're gonna be back in the club looking for the same younger women.
Just want an update on my date. I know you guys have been so invested. No immediate chemistry. Just was like giving him a chance. It was a long date, and then towards the end of it, turns out he was a racist.
Oh wait, and he was just ripping coke lines. Ripping some bumps for half of the date, which is now my second date in a row that has happened. So apparently I am very boring, but he did pay.
Why some women don't actually want peace. For them, if the relationship isn't chaotic, it doesn't feel like they have chemistry with you. If they grew up in that type of environment, or they've created that environment for themselves and that's where they feel comfortable, then that's their default. And there's nothing you can do to fix this. She would have to go get help herself. So when you, a calm, predictable, and stable man shows up, it can feel boring for her. You're not boring, but that's what she feels. Next, for a lot of women, drama makes them feel important. That's why sometimes you see the women that are like, oh, I hate drama, are the ones actually causing it. Because they want attention, positive or negative. Because arguments often feel urgent. You gotta do this now. And that roller coaster of emotions constantly feels like passion to them. They need a lot of that in their lives. And I feel like we all want a little bit of like the roller coaster sometimes, but you can reserve that for maybe a TV show or something, not your whole life. Also, some women want control over you. They don't want peace. So they'll purposely provoke you. They'll test you. They'll withdraw from you to keep you on edge on purpose, because then they can control your overall lifestyle, your feelings. And often peace requires letting go that you can control everything, and trust that it will work out in your favor. And oftentimes these women, their entire identity will be built around, oh, I am a strong woman. I'm strong. I don't need a man. I don't tolerate anything. And those types of women often need drama constantly and chaos, and they'll bring it into your life because she thinks she's being strong when she does that. And the reality is she's just being hard to be around.
I'm going to say something that I've never said out loud before. It's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. But I feel like if I want it to happen, I have to say it out loud, and I have to put it out to all 200 and something thousand of you, okay? I really want a boyfriend. I don't think you understand. For me, that's like so embarrassing and weird to say. Probably because I'm 23 and I've like never had a boyfriend before, like a real one. But I do. I want it. So do with that what you will.
Correct. So you said is chivalry. It's not at all. It's, I think men are going to be very, very careful of whom they do it with.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm still traditional. I like to open up the door and close the door for my fiance. I like to do that. I mean, I don't do it every day if we're running late, but if I can, it should just look really nice. And I don't want her to sit in a particular way because I know that it's hard for you guys to get into with high heels and shit. So I'll help her into the thing. That's my job to do that. That's like I like to do that. Now, if she thought that was a sign of weakness, then I would not be with her. Why would I be weak if I'm looking after my queen? I mean, she looks after her king, right?
Yeah.
But if she thinks then, oh, this is weak, then she's not a traditional woman.
Yeah.
Right? So she shouldn't be with a traditional man.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
I agree.
So men have done that in the past and then have gone negative reaction. I can do it myself. We know you can do everything yourself. We know this.
Yeah.
But did you want a man in a relationship or you don't want? I don't know what you want.
Yeah.
So this is the issue now that men are stuck in.
Yeah,
They're like, so what do I do?
Yeah.
Do I pay for dinner? Do I not pay for dinner? Do I sit her down in a chair before I sit down? Do I move her chair? Do I stand up when she goes to the bathroom? Do I sit back there? What do I do as a man? If I do that, am I going to look that I'm weak? Because she will interpret being a gentleman as a sign of weakness because she's from a generation that doesn't understand what etiquette and manners are.
I know,
right?
That's really lacking.
That's the issue.
You hit the nail on the head. Etiquette and manners.
So that's the issue.
Controversial, but there are more women that are losers out there than men. Women always have a checklist. You have to be this tall. You have to make this much money. You have to go to the gym. You have to do this. You have to do that. You have to do this. Men have one thing. Please be nice and treat me with respect. Women cannot do it. Women want so many things from their men nowadays, but they have nothing to give that man. Not even respect, not even dignity, not even peace, not even comfort, nothing. They just want that man to provide them a princess lifestyle, but don't want to give him anything in return. Don't want to make his life any easier. That is why so many men have given up on dating, because women are not worth it.
Okay, so I need y'all to be honest. Do I look mean? Do I look mean or like unapproachable? Because I'm trying to figure it out. I've been going to the gym for 3 years now, and one guy has approached me in the gym. One guy. I can name the situation. One guy. So I'm like, there's gotta be something wrong. Like, why do people not want to like talk to me? And not like in a sappy way. Like, I'm genuinely curious. Like, what am I doing wrong? I don't know. I'm like literally wearing bright pink right now. Like, is that not approachable? I think it is. Okay. I don't know. Let me know.
This is not because you look mean or you're not wearing a bright enough color. I'm going to tell you the two very honest reasons why men are not approaching you at the gym. And if I know anything about men, I think that most of y'all are going to agree with this. The first very honest reason is that you are attractive, which means that you are higher risk. A man is at higher risk of getting rejected, honestly, if he approaches you. That is why not just giving subtle hints, but being a little bit more forward in your case will be successful. But then there's the very real second reason, which is all location based. You are at the gym, which is where a man finds peace. He is there to work out. He is not necessarily there to look for a date. And one way that he can definitely ruin it for himself is by approaching the wrong woman, get rejected, get so called out and embarrassed, maybe be called a creep, to the point where he can no longer show up at that gym. And then what? He has to find another gym or stop working out, which is going to be terrible for him. That is why I say, ladies, it is so important to remove those barriers, make it very clear that you're interested in that man, and it will go a lot smoother.
In 2026, I am no longer part of the independent woman crew. I am no longer part of the crew that says, I don't need a man. I am off of the crew of I can do it by myself. I'm done. Get me off of those committees because, baby, I need a man. I need my husband. I don't know what I was thinking and who brainwashed me. Because if I'm being honest, all of those things were a facade to protect myself from getting my feelings hurt or my heart broken. But in 2026, I'm ready. I'm gonna try this thing out. For real this time.
A woman will not leave a man she likes, but she will leave a man that's good to her. Let me explain. You know, people talk about avoiding this, Some people will run away from people that they really, really like or whatever. Who cares? No, that's not what who cares? Women will not leave a man that they like, but they will leave a man that's good for them and to them. So let's say in this hypothetical scenario, you're with a woman, you treat her well, you're great to her, you speak life into her. Overall, you pretty much make her happy, right? Leave because you're doing something for her that she can't do for you, and it exposes everything that's wrong with her, all of her shortcomings. Everything good that you do for her is exposing all of that, right? The kind of man that she likes is someone who doesn't expose that to her, someone that doesn't put a spotlight on her and show her everything that's wrong with her. That's why women will always go after, using this term, but like the bad boy, the man that they have to tame, right? They go after the man that they have to tame because the problem is always pointed on the man that's always wrong. Something is wrong with him. The spotlight is always on him. The magnifying glass is always on him. So they never have to stop and look at what's wrong with her. They always have to stop and look at what's wrong with him. Well, a woman will leave you for the fact that you make her happy, and that you make her feel safe and loved and cared for and all that stuff. She'll leave you for those reasons because she realizes now, oh my goodness, I have to show up for this person the way they show up for me. And that makes them insecure. It makes them feel like something is wrong with them. And they have to run away from that feeling of guilt, that feeling of inadequacy. So like I said at the beginning, women won't leave a man that they like, right? But they will leave a man that's good for them.
Put some clothes on, respect yourself.
If you're a man, you shouldn't be saying anything, so walk away.
What is the logic behind that? Are you retarded? I'm wearing jorts and a t-shirt.
Put my hand and walk away.
Whoa, how about you put a top on?
Walk away. Does it bother you that much?
Yeah, it does.
I'm sorry.
It's kind of disgusting.
Girl just trying to grab my hand.
That's crazy. All right, anyway, run, rain back, cross. Let's show we won. Have you ever thought of putting on some clothes and respecting yourself?
Have you ever thought of starting the fuck up?
That was the least intelligent thing you could have said. If I don't dress like a...
Oh, I'm not dressed in a bikini, so I can't really talk that way.
Okay, but that's why I didn't come up to you. I came up to her.
So why are you dressed in a bikini?
Thank you.
Successful women don't actually want equality in their marriage. They want polarity. They want to feel protected. They want to feel provided for. They want to feel pursued. They want to feel claimed and cherished and chosen and feel like they can relax. And they want to feel like they can just be so feminine that they don't have to worry about a thing. However, modern society has taught women that we need to build a life that we don't rely on anyone, that we need to not depend on a man. So as women, what did we do? We became successful. We became high achieving. We built a life that was so safe. We didn't realize that the same walls that we built to protect us were the same walls that keeps love out. Women need to realize is that when you step into the queen's life, you learn that it is safe to receive. It's not about doing less. It's not about achieving less. You can stay in your power and you can be soft. It is the power of the and.
You wonder why Chivalry is you it, and I'm about to tell you exactly how. You complain that men don't open doors, pull out chairs, or pay for dates anymore, but you're the reason they stopped. You rush ahead and open your own doors, then get mad when he doesn't do it. You insist on splitting the bill, then complain he's not a provider. You reject his help, then wonder why he stopped offering. You told men that Chivalry was that you didn't need their protection, that you could do everything yourself, so they listened. They stepped back and let you handle it. Then you have the audacity to complain that there are no gentlemen left. You can't reject masculine gestures, then expect masculine behavior. You train men to treat you like one of the guys, then wonder why they don't treat you like a lady. Chivalry because you convinced men it wasn't wanted. You wanted equality? Congratulations, you got it. Don't blame men for giving you exactly what you asked for.
Dating in 2024 sucks because we have some men who are so afraid of approaching women in person to initiate organic connections due to fear of rejection, of course. And then on the other end of the spectrum, we have some women who have such intense visceral reactions to a scenario like that happening, thinking that every guy that approaches them is a creep, is a love bombing, is a narcissist, whatever the case may be. And that's why none of this is happening in person anymore. So we are stuck with dating apps and sliding in the DMs. And that's why we are not progressing in relationships as a society anymore. Sound like a fair assessment? So we have the identified issues. We know what they are. Let's work on them and change them for the better. What do you guys think?
A woman needs love, a man needs respect. Right. But it's almost easy for us to say, well, he can get my respect when he earns it. Wow. Right. Can you imagine if your husband said she can have my love when she earns it? Just as much as women need love, your husband needs respect. Right. Not only was he created to be able to need this, to receive it, he was built that way, he's going to be drawn to the places where he actually does receive it. That's right. Whether it's his his workplace. You know, some of us are like, why is he always out of the house? Why doesn't he like to be at home? Why does he always feel so grumpy or look so grumpy when he's at home? But then for some reason, when we're out with his friends or when he's at work, he's thriving there. You see so much joy in him. It's because he's receiving respect. He's going to find respect in the relationships where he receives it. And if that's the case, we've got to figure out a way to understand that there is a true need for a man to be able to receive respect.
That's good.
Any man can claim to like you, but boyfriend material shows it with his actions. The first sign is his protective instinct. Boyfriend material notices if you're feeling uncomfortable, if something's bothering you, and he steps in to fix it. 2, you want to understand how he specifically behaves if he's serious about someone. Here's a cheat code on how to know. Download the app Astra, click on Ask Me Anything, and ask these exact questions. I'll give you time to screenshot. According to his Venus sign, how does he act when he's serious about someone? And then you're going to ask, according to my zodiac sign, are we compatible? Some men show interest through attention and others through effort, so you need to know the difference. And 3, cognitive lead. Notice how much mental energy you spend thinking about this man. When a man is inconsistent, your brain starts trying to solve it, almost like a puzzle. When a man is serious about you, you can sit back and relax. Remember, babe, talk is cheap. Boyfriend material is revealed in his actions.
Let's explore what women want. Men should pay on first dates. Men should provide, protect. Men should be chivalrous. Husband should be willing to for you. Yes. So if women can have the standard, men should protect. If women say men should be willing to, how can you object to me saying a woman should be my servant? How could you actually object?
I'm just saying, if you're willing to for me, sure. Yeah, I'm gonna do your laundry and cook for you. Yeah, and clean.
So Jocelyn, you said husband should be willing to protecting me. Yeah. So I actually think that's a higher calling of sacrifice.
But I'm also giving birth to your children. I'm also making your apartment a home. I'm contributing to your mental, emotional well-being, raising your kids.
But my objection here is the outrage over, oh my God, Brian, you want a woman to do an effortless bow and do your laundry and cook and clean for you? Y'all want men to for you.
I would die for my man. I'll bow to you if you're gonna get that.
Bow.
No, I ain't bowing to you. I'm not bowing to you because I don't respect you.
I gotta tell you a hard truth, and you gotta hear it. You just have to hear it. You're with the right man already. Your husband is the right man. Well, how do you know that I married the right man? Well, I know that you married the right man because you're married to your husband. So your husband is the right man. Whether you think that a million other men could do it better than he does and X, Y, and Z would be fulfilled if you were with somebody else and blah, blah, blah. The enemy is a liar. Yeah, the enemy is the accuser of the brethren. And the enemy has you focus so much on the things that your husband doesn't do that you forget all the things that you don't do for him. Yeah, and you focus a lot on the things that he's not good at and you completely forget the things that he's amazing at. And you spend so much time complaining and in detriment about the state of your marriage that you don't spend any time focusing on what you could do to make it better. And I just want you to know that it's not greener on the other side. It's green where you water it.
Men should always lead and women should always navigate. Don't let anyone tell you anything different. Let me explain why. It's not about one being more powerful than the other. It's about different roles that complement each other. When a man leads, it doesn't mean he controls. It means he takes responsibility. He makes decisions with love, vision, and with the weight of protecting the family. And when a woman navigates, that means that she brings her intuition, her discernment, and her ability to see things that he may miss. This is just a daily reminder to women to stop trying to play both roles. You're doing a disjustice to yourself and your man. And if you are dating, stop allowing him to get away with just doing the bare minimum. If he doesn't want to protect, lead with love, and be a provider, then you should be walking the opposite way. Because even in the Bible, it says, men are called to lead like Christ loved the church. That means with sacrifice and no ego. Lead with love and navigate with wisdom. That's how you build a foundation that will never crumble.
A man shouldn't stop a woman from being who she is. If she want to step out and be sexy, show some and twerk,
There should be no problem.
Earlier you said you want a man that's wise.
Correct.
Okay. You said if she want to dress sexy, the man should permit her to dress sexy without trying to restrict her and hinder her. Imagine you say, well, I want to eat McDonald's. Mm-hmm. And imagine your man said, nah, man, I care about you too much. That's bad for you. I don't want you to eat McDonald's. I would rather you eat X, Y, and Z. This is not this man being insecure. This is not him being no negative description. This is a man that has a certain level of wisdom. They can see how this action is harmful, and out of loving you, he trying to make sure you don't do the harmful action. So would you say the man who restricts you from eating McDonald's is insecure or doing something negative?
In the sense, like, even though you want me to be healthy, I still want to eat some unhealthy stuff. So I'm always a risk taker. And I like feeling sexy. I just like doing me. And I feel like in a relationship, a man shouldn't stop a woman from being who she is. If she want to step out and be sexy, show some twerk, there should be no problem. But like flirt with the men and stuff, that's where you cross the line.
Okay.
I have had an epiphany tonight, right? Listen to this. Forget about going to running clubs. Forget about going to pottery. Forget about going to all these meetup groups, right? Forget about going on Hinge. I know where all the men are. They are in the Devonshire Arms in Soho. I have never in my life seen more men wall to wall, like 90% men. And I'm telling you, young, old, all fit. So fit. Like, it was baffling. Like, that place in Guinness alone is cleaning up. And the Guinness is absolute class. But guys, we don't need to worry about dating apps anymore because we have the men literally there. So get yourselves into the Devonshire in Soho. It's where dreams are made of. Also, when I say dreams are made of, I got like 2 numbers and I was speaking to 2 guys, and I know I'm dressed like Peg Sayers again, but who cares? The moral of the story is, get to the Devonshire, girls. Get yourself off the running club. You don't need to run anywhere. You need to run to the Devonshire because that's where the men's are. The men's are?
Where are the men? Like, that's what I want to know. Like, where you at? I done been to the gym. I done been to Target. I done been everywhere. Like, where are you? Where do you be at? Where do y'all be at? Where's the men? Where's the men that want wives? Like, where are you? Where are you looking at? Because obviously you're not looking over here. Like, what's wrong? Like, where do we find men at? Like, where?
You cannot make this stuff up. You can't. Right? If you're asking this question in 2026, you've missed the plot, right? That ship may have sailed already. In 2026, you're asking where are the men? I got nothing for you. If you don't know by now, I got nothing for you. What I'm looking forward to is the crash out from Valentine's Day. Okay, you're gonna have modern women boohoo-whining and complaining, crashing out because men are simply not giving them gifts, or they're realizing that they're a jump off. Or some of them know that they're a jump off and they're demanding gifts anyways, right? From guys clapping their cheeks once a week. Yeah, they're demanding gifts from those guys. Okay, guys that are not even committed to them, not their boyfriends, not their fiancés or husbands or anything of that sort. Demanding a gift from men.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
Girl, do not get that, baby. I don't give how much he say he want to be a dad. Let get mad. Then he gonna act like you don't exist and the baby don't exist neither. Y'all a package deal once he get mad at you. Girl, don't have that man, baby. Girl, we all got tricked. Believe it or not, look, call us Ripley's. Like, don't have that man, baby. I'm telling you. Cause as soon as y'all break up, he gonna break up with the child too. He gonna stop doing for the child. It don't matter how much I want to be a dad. I want a mini-me. I want a son. It don't matter. I want a little girl. It don't matter. I promise you that nigga's gonna do a complete 180 on you as soon as you get pregnant. If not when you get pregnant, because they still be kind of, like mine, he still was kind of fainting. The true colors started coming out a little bit at the end of the pregnancy. But during most of the pregnancy, he was still, you know what I'm saying, pretty solid. It's once that baby got him. Oh, baby. You would have thought the alien. I don't even know who this is. Who that man? Who this man? I don't even know who this is. This is not the person I was in love with when I made the baby. This is not the same person that can't be. I swear. Hey, if you don't believe me, check the comments.
And ladies, the reason why you're not seeing men be who they used to be is because you're not being who the women used to be to get that man. Just saying though, you gotta check your fruit, baby. If your fruit is rotten, then you're gonna get rotten fruit. But if you have good fruit, you're gonna get good fruit. Don't let that go over your head now and start getting emotional. Just telling you the truth because I love you. Goodbye.
I always thought it was bizarre when women say men are not like what they used to be, or what happened to men? Why aren't men today like our grandfathers and great grandfathers? Because the easy answer to that is because the women are not like our grandmothers and great grandmothers. I mean, just think logically, do women really believe that the men of the past, the ones that they praise, the ones that they romanticize as far as the treatment that they would give to their grandmothers and great grandmothers, do you think our grandfathers and our great grandfathers, do you think the choices they had were women who came with children already? Do you think the choices they had were women who had 3 baby daddies? You think the choices they had of women were all 80% overweight? Do you think the choices that men had of the past that women came with 20, 30 bodies already? No, of course the men of today aren't like the men of the past, because the women of today are nothing like the women of the past. And I think both men and women have to accept that. We aren't bringing what our grandfathers and great grandfathers are bringing, and women aren't doing the same. So this is where we're at. Now, where do we go from here?
So I recently asked men, actually quite a few posts back, why they do not approach women anymore. And sisters, they got in them comments, about 400 comments. And we getting ready to start. Number 1, I'm gonna try to get through this as quickly as possible. I might have to do a part 2. Y'all are looking for studs? Y'all are not polite. Sisters, y'all not polite. Me Too and feminism. Apparently, they are afraid of being accused of SA. Everyone looks the same. No one stands out or is original. The system, social media, has destroyed y'all. Y'all are not safe. Okay. Y'all said y'all prefer a bear. Now we're gonna have to expound on that, because apparently there was a poll that says women asked who they feel safe around, they said men or a bear. Y'all chose a bear. The men are salty about that. Part 2. So yeah, about the bear situation, I'm choosing a man because I'm definitely afraid of bears, grizzlies to be exact. But let's get back into it. You have to pay for conversation. Y'all are not approachable. Ladies, y'all don't be approachable. Too transactional, only wanting money. Always begging. Y'all be out here begging these men, sis? Yeah, I know, sis. Too much attitude. Most act like escorts. Y'all put y'all dates on social media and make men look like creeps. They do not like that when y'all post y'all videos about y'all dates. They are afraid of that. That you will get on social media and talk about them. Too masculine. Always looking for a man to pay their bills. Men are valuing themselves over y'all. Not worth it. No peace.
You know, and modern women, oh, well, maybe he's intimidated. Maybe he's shy. It's not really shyness. It's more so, well, you know, it's a strategy. Why in the world would I walk into a situation where the best outcome for me is, you know, kind of a neutral reaction? That's the best outcome. It's not going to be positive with these modern women. It's not going to be, oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's not going to be that. It's going to be more of you looking, you know, silly with an RBF, right? And obviously the worst case scenario is you trying to humiliate me in public. Why would I? That doesn't make any sense.